Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be recreating my summer bronze glowy makeup look, which I've been wearing for I think 2 months now. I wanted to recreate this tutorial for you guys because you've been requesting. It has been my favorite and I always love to film my go-to looks. I love trying new makeup, but I love sitting down and using all my favorite products in a video to show you my go-to look. So this is it for summer. If you're looking for something bronzy, glowy, this is the look I've been wearing, the one you've been requesting. So if you want to see how I got this look, stay tuned. And for this video, we do have a sponsor, so thank you so much to Delba for sponsoring this portion of the video. I am working with them again to share with you my favorite spray, which is the First Spray Serum. I've gone through a whole bottle of this. I initially purchased it on Amazon, and that's where you can get it. This is my secret, not so secret spray that I use to create this dewy but smooth looking skin. It is my favorite hydration spray for my skin. It has 2 layers to it. The first layer has plant-derived oils for skin relief, moisture lock-in, and glowy skin, whereas the second layer is where the white truffle serum is. And this is their key ingredient. This has antioxidant, anti-aging properties. Their main ingredient, white truffle, is especially good for the summer because it helps protect skin from environmental aggressors and UV radiation, which should be incorporated into your summer skincare routine. This is something I use year-round, but especially for the summer. For me, my favorite use for this has been for after makeup application. I also use this as a primer if I want a little bit of hydration to the skin to also combat a very matte foundation, which I was using today. Melt in my powders. It really is versatile in my makeup routine, but also for daily life because I use this for my skincare routine. I use it in the morning, at night. I use it throughout the day. After sun exposure, especially for me, I find it very hydrating because especially in the summer, I feel like I'm more dry just due to the sun and how it makes my skin feel tight. Keeping this in my beach bag and having a couple sprays after just really soothes the skin for me. The spray really has endless uses. You can use it before, during, after makeup, on the go for beach days, pool days. My friend actually told me that she bought one of these for her coworkers so they can all spray it during the day during their shifts. So I know she has one at work that she uses. I have one for doing my makeup, but I also have one for skincare, so you can use this for skincare. It's great as a primer, great as a setter. The best thing this does for me is just melt my makeup together, and it gives me that smooth looking glowy skin, that glow from within, which you see. It is how I want my skin to always look like this. This is what makes it possible for me. This is what gives that sort of finish that I look for. I share with you in this tutorial how I get there with this and what products I use underneath to really help support that smooth, glowy makeup look. But this is the finishing touch for me. Also use it as a primer, refresher throughout the day, skincare, you name it. This has been a go-to for me, but especially beneficial in the summer because of the antioxidant properties from that white truffle. So if you have not checked out the Delba First Spray Serum yet, such a perfect time to pick it up because you can easily get this on Amazon. It's available during their Prime days. So if you have not checked it out, this is the perfect time to do so. I will have it linked below for you guys to check out, but it is the key step to creating that glowy skin that I love for this bronzy summer glow makeup. So thank you so much to Delba for sponsoring this portion of the video. It's my favorite hydrating spray, as I said, so definitely go check it out. And if you want to see how I created my go-to favorite summer bronzy glowy makeup look, then just keep watching. I have my eyebrows and base done. I will have everything linked below. This look is super simple and it's what I've been wearing for the past, I think 2 months now. I've had so many requests for this, and in the summer, I typically don't wear too much eyeshadow. However, when I do, I love this bronze look, and I usually just reach for my bronzer and whatever highlighter I'm using. What's really pretty about this look is that I incorporate 3 different highlighters in my Dior palette, so that's kind of the star of the eyes. But I do take my bronzer and I just run it through my crease really quickly using the BK Beauty and Nikki LaRose N13 brush. This video I'm using all my favorite products. Look at that bronzer. Just gonna lightly put this through the crease. You don't have to be careful with this look, you just run it all over the lid if you want. It's gonna be covered up. I just concentrate it on that outer corner and through the crease. Using your bronzer on your lid also helps create a more monochromatic look, ties everything together. It's just a little tip that I feel like I honestly use all the time. Even if I use an eyeshadow palette, often through my crease, I am putting a little bit of the bronzer that I'm using just to tie that tone in. And this is my favorite color. It's number 5. I also have 6. I don't use it as often as 5 though, which I thought I might actually use 6 more, but 5 is gonna be the one that I always repurchase. The star of the lid shade is this bronze in the palette. Depending on your skin tone, you can lighten it or you can just go with the gold. I'm gonna start with the bronze shade and I use that in my outer corner. I use the gold in the inner, blend the two together just using my fingers, and then I'll take a brush at the end and use the pearly white shade in my inner corner just to give that pop to the inner corner. I think it's so beautiful. The pink in this palette I do use as a blush topper often. I don't typically use a pink highlight though. I always use the gold and the white in this palette, and I was neglecting the bronze, and I'm like, what am I ever gonna do with that shade? And I started using it on my lid, and it is the most beautiful bronze tone for any time of year, honestly, if you like a bronzy makeup look, but especially for the summer. I like it a little bit deeper, so I do bring the bronze more in on top of that gold. I just like the gold to lighten the inner corner slightly, just to give the look a little bit of dimension. Taking that crease brush, just making sure everything is still blended. Then for liner, you can either do a smoky wing with this look, which I've done often, or I use a brown liquid liner. I use this one from Benefit. It's their roller liner. And I like this because it's very long wearing. So this is perfect for the summer too, especially if you have watery eyes or happen to be near water. I feel like every day of my life I'm near water. I'm just keeping the wing nice and small. I don't want this to be a liner focused look, but when I do put on my lashes, it's nice to have that lift to my eye because they naturally downturn. So just having that angle there helps with the lift. Then to finish off the eyes, I'm just going to do a quick curl with my lash curler. I'm gonna throw on my YSL Lash Clash mascara. And then for my lashes, I'm using my favorite, and I have a new pack of my Ardell 858 lashes, which look very intense, but I only use half of these on the outer corner. They are my favorite lashes currently of all time. I needed a new set, and I always love to show you guys how they look prior to me cutting them, because often I already have a pair cut for my looks, but these are how they look. They look intense, which I don't wear the full strip. I just cut them in half, and you get a ton of uses because I can use each of the halves. I get 8 pairs of lashes in here because I cut them in half. I started being consistent with a lash growth serum, and I finally feel like my lashes are starting to grow. They're looking a lot longer to me and more full. We're going to finish off the eyes after, but for a quick boost of hydration, I'm just going to take the Delba First Spray Serum now and add a little bit prior to my sunscreen. I want to add some hydration to my skin. However, my sunscreen that I use is very moisturizing, so I just want a couple sprays of this prior, and I can control how much of this I can spray on my face. If I need a little bit more one day, I can just spray a couple extra. Adds that moisture, that glow to the skin, which we're going for this look. And we're gonna be using a matte foundation, which also, if it's looking a little too matte, I can add a couple sprays and kind of revive that finish. And we're gonna use the sunscreen now, which is my Beauty of Joseon one. This I get on Stylevana, and I've been getting questions on shipping, and it does take a little bit to get to Canada. I wanna say 15 business days max, but because it is shipping from far, it does take a little bit, but totally worth it for me. I can't even count how many of these I've gone through. I think this might be my 4th tube of this sunscreen. Love that there's no white cast, and it does not break me out. Now for foundation, of course, I'm gonna use my favorite one of all time, which they reformulated, but I did order it to compare. That video might be up before this, but right now I'm using my Too Faced Born This Way Matte 24-Hour Foundation. It has changed though, so we will investigate and see if it's a bad change or not. I'm gonna pump out a little bit on my hand. They no longer have the shade I use, which is golden, which is the perfect shade for when I have a self tan in the summer. And I'm gonna be using my BK Beauty 101 brush, and apply this on the skin. This is locked on, full coverage if you need it. I use light layers of products and it doesn't feel heavy on my skin. Granted, my skin eats makeup, so I don't typically get that heavy sort of feeling on my skin. But if I want something to last in the summer, I can't do that clean girl look to the skin because it's just going to fade. My skin's going to eat it. So if I want lasting makeup, I personally still have to do all the steps that I typically take. I almost feel like I'm drier in the summer than in the winter just because of all the sun that I get. And I feel like it kind of sucks out the moisture from my skin. That's why I'm spraying this during my routine. Definitely does help for summer makeup. If you've never tried it before, you must. That's just my washing machine breaking. So I am matching my body, which I do have a fresh self-tan on. I'm using the Baddest Bod self-tan, which my favorite currently. So I'll link that down below in case you guys were curious of when I'm freshly tan, which tan I'm using. I don't like to lay out in the sun. I still self-tan in the summer. Even though I can naturally tan darker than my self-tan, I just always have tan well. I just much prefer using a self-tanner than spending the time in the sun, specifically to tan. If I'm doing an activity, I like to be outside. I'm looking dewy from my base, which is how I personally like to start off my makeup because I set with powder. So I like to be hydrated. If I'm already looking dry prior to powder, we're gonna run into some problems. This is how my skin needs to look prior to powdering, and it will gradually dry down some, so it's not as dewy. Right now we're gonna do our concealer using my BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy. This is the A506 brush. Just gonna start blending everything out. Fine with this foundation specifically, I don't need that much concealer because it has a really good coverage on its own. The washing machine moves so much, Charles can't open the door. I shouldn't laugh. Did you gain access to the laundry room?
Yeah.
When I have a self-tan, I use shade 2 from Charlotte Tilbury underneath my eyes. Otherwise, I'm usually using number 1. I also have shade 3 to set the rest of my face. But lately, I've been back to using my Laura Mercier powder for all over. So I'm just going to take this triangle puff, press it underneath the eye. It's going to help brighten the area slightly, but also smooth it out. It just makes my under eyes look the best. I show this in every video because I just can't believe the difference for powder for underneath my eye. I didn't put any bronzer or anything on my nose, but for some reason it looks contoured. So I'm just gonna go with it. How that happened, I have no idea. So using the same shade, I'm just gonna press around my mouth, a little bit on the forehead, just to keep that color consistent with the center of my face. Then taking a loose translucent powder, I'm just using my Laura Mercier one. Trying to use stuff up off camera. I'm going to press this in to the rest of the skin. Then to finish off the eyes, I'm just going to pinch this brush and run my bronzer just along here. I still have a little bit on my brush, so we're just going to work that underneath the eye and gradually build up if we need any more products for multi things. I can do this look really quick if I need to go out somewhere. Using a brush like that just keeps it really soft and diffused. This is my favorite mascara for my lower lashes from MAC. It's the Extended Play Giga Black Lash. I always forget how much I love this when I don't have it, and then I repurchase it, and honestly, I shouldn't even use anything else. This just makes my lashes perfect one swipe on. I just love how it separates, lengthens, and wears on my lashes. This never smears throughout the day, just stays on, doesn't irritate my eyes. It's just the perfect lower lash wand and formula. For the inner corner, this is a must step. This is the perfect inner corner highlight, and you can adjust it depending on your skin tone as well if you need to deepen it up. I go right in with that pearly white shade, and I put a ton on the inner corner and blend up and in to that lid shade just to brighten up that whole inner corner of the eye. And when I'm just wearing any inner corner for any eye look, this is what I'm wearing. So I know a ton of you ask what the color is. It's always this shade in this Dior palette. I also like to put a brown in my waterline. I'm gonna do that as my last step though. It's always something that I don't like to do, but I love how it looks on my eyes. So I'm just gonna save it for last because I'm being a baby. Using number 5 from House Labs on my Morphe and Ariel bronzer brush. Gonna bronze up the face with this shade. Already with the foundation and that concealer, I feel like I already look slightly contoured just because the highlight really brought out areas of my face. So we don't need too much bronze, but this is a bronzy summer makeup, so I just go with my heart how much I want that day. Then for my blush brush, I'm going to use my Morphe and Ariel blush brush, and you can actually buy these individually now, which I'm waiting for a sale to stock up on these, as well as their dual-ended concealer brush I always use to clean up underneath my brows. I want that too. You can buy all the brushes individually, and those are the two that I always use. So I'm going to take my Not Too Much from Patrick Ta, the powder. I'm going to go in with that first, and then I actually go in with the cream on top, just like Patrick shares to do. Normally, I don't do that with a lot of formulas, but I feel like the cream on top of the powder really gives for a beautiful finish, and we do want to glow. Initially, when I bought this blush, I thought it was going to be too light for when I have a tan, but I actually prefer this color when I do have a tan. It does something to my complexion to really brighten up the skin, and I just feel like the undertone of this as well matches my undertone quite nicely. We're gonna load up on blush. I'm going to take my BK Beauty 109 brush into the cream and then go over top of that blush. You almost don't need a highlight on the cheek because that adds the glow. It's all about glowy and bronze for this look. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't add highlight to the cheeks. I love that blush and how natural it makes the highlight look. We're glowing, but there's no actual highlight or powder product on top. It's just that formula. And I do take this and I mix the gold and the pearl, and I use this on my nose, and I just use my finger for this. For eyeliner, this is a dual-ended eyeliner from Charlotte Tilbury. I really love the brown on this side. So I'm gonna put that in my waterline. For my lip combo for this look, I used this in a trying old makeup that I forgot about, and I fell in love with it, and I've been using it ever since that video. So we're using MAC Strip Down, oldie but a goodie, to line the lips. MAC Angel, just in the center. And then for gloss, we're using the Lancome Juicy Tube in Miracle, which this is plumping as well. And this combo has just been my favorite. Tonally, I just think this matches everything as well. I just love everything about this look, clearly, because I've been wearing it for a couple months now. I want to bring the glow, the dew back to the skin, and this spray has just been my absolute favorite for adding that hydration, that glow back to my skin. Whether it's makeup, skincare, whatever I'm using it for, it always gives me that glow and that feeling of hydration on my skin. It feels incredible, and it just makes my makeup look the best. And there's a reason why I included this in my mid-year favorites if you haven't seen that already. This is now my second bottle of it. I'm in love with this spray. This is the Delba First Spray Serum. It has the 2 layers, which I discussed in the beginning of the video, so we're just going to make sure shake this up first. Again, with this, I just go with my heart, how much I feel. It says 5, but I often do more just because I love how it looks for that glow. The mist is fine. It doesn't give tiny dots on the skin, and it melts everything together perfectly. My face doesn't look powdery at all, and it adds that natural glow back to the skin after being so matte with powder and a matte foundation. This is the completed look. It is my go-to look as of lately. It is glowy, it is bronzy, it is perfect for summer, and it just is my feel-good makeup. And I know you guys have been requesting this. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It has been a long time coming. I've been wanting to film this for you, but I cannot stop wearing this look using these products. They are my go-to, absolutely love. And definitely to get that glowy finish, check out the Delba First Spray Serum. You guys are going to absolutely love it. If you haven't already checked it out, which I know many of you have through DM, you always send me this spray that you've picked up because of me. So I'm so happy you guys are loving it too. It made my mid-year faves for a reason. Definitely go check it out For Prime, I will have it linked below. You can shop on Amazon for their Prime Day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you do decide to recreate this look, definitely tag me so I can check it out, and I will see you guys in my next video.